Good thing this thing has a lag because you never know when to start, and then you always when it's your camera, it goes dark and then comes back, and then it's like you sound like a robot. And I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming technology. All technology.
Well, one, you know what fucked with me on the latest episode of Free Therapy, go listen right now, is that I think you just hear me screaming, like halfway through screaming, welcome to the latest episode of Free Therapy, which fucking killed me with the delay.
Listen, as much as professionals as we can be during this time.
As much professionals as we are during this time.
Ooh, there it is. But a little lag in between I hope people don't think like that 2 seconds of us not saying anything is us being stupid. It's just us making sure that our words come out, because I can't start off with a sex story and be like halfway through it, and then they're like, whoa, why did Michael put his penis in her asshole? What happened? Like, you know,
because it's a natural thing and it's a natural God-given hole. Why else did he give us that hole? But I also have I will say it's also the 2 seconds of kind of delay of, is Nudie going to tell a god-awful cringy sex story? So I'm kind of in like the nervousness. Is he going to start off this way? Is he still extremely horny? You seem a little more relaxed. Did Sam finally stop by, maybe cool you off a little bit? You seem in the zone, kid.
I'm giving the people what they want. The porn industry is going down. The fans only shit is garbage. Like, I'm giving the people a little taste of what goes through a mind of a horny Egyptian guy during quarantine. It happens. Like,
yeah, but buddy, see, the problem is, well, yes, there's a lot, like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, there's a lot of great stories out there. There's a lot of great content and porn that's getting underappreciated and undervalued, and that's a damn shame. And please don't knock those girls that are working those actresses and those artists that are working so hard. However, there's a reason Call Her Daddy works, and everyone wants to hear Alexander Cooper talk about blowjobs and whatever the fuck else is going on with her life, but nobody wants to hear about the hairy Egyptian kid talk about how he wants to butt fuck, but no one will let him butt fuck.
I'm not over here saying I'm tickling taints with my fucking beard. Like, that's not what I'm over here talking about. I'm just, right now, porno is up to where they have to do the best of, like, big boobs, best of a certain porn star, or a remastering of like an old scene. And it's just like, listen, Lamar Odom said he's seen all videos in porno history. That is impossible.
No way.
That's like saying I have too much money. There's no such thing.
You'd have to live, I don't quote me on this, but I feel like you'd have to live like at least 30 lifetimes to watch every porn video out there.
Every video, every movie, like, that's crazy. But I digress on the porn video.
Who has time?
Who has time for that? I have a job.
I feel like that would do like such psychological damage. Anyway, we'll digress very quickly.
No, if you actually watched if you watched the entire porn catalogs front to back, like, literally, you have to have at least 6 to 7 lifetimes. Like, and you have to live to be 80. It's like kind of like how people talk about Don Shula's winning the record of how many wins he has. It's like Bill Belichick has to average 12 wins for the next, I think it was like 10 years, and he's already like 70 something.
I'm just still stuck on the psychological day. I don't want to meet that person. I don't want to know what goes through that person's head. It's not a pretty picture. And then you have to get to the point of, do you get to again, this is just for Nudie right here, do you get to the Chucky Rhodes, or Billions fans as well, do you get to the Chucky Rhodes point, or does it even get worse to a whole new level? I don't know.
I think the best quote I ever heard was from the show The League. It's like, oh, I've masturbated so much where now my fetishes have gone so weird. It's like, he's like, I jack off to girls who give blowjobs with one tooth. I only
right. I need it to only go through the middle toe and the index toe. Exactly. On a foot job. I only like seeing the ear holes. Anyway, we're getting way too weird, way too off the rolls. Let's allow us to talk about football, which is what the show is about.
This is not call her mommy or call her daddy or any of that bullshit. This is Face of the Franchise, a football podcast hosted by your own Michael Shanuti, the Pharaoh, and always.
Wouldn't we call him mommy? And I don't think we want that.
What?
It would technically be call him mommy, and I don't think we want that.
No, fuck that. And as always, is the ever so energetic dude, Lil Joe. And this is powered by Four Corners Radio. Joe, tell them about Four Corners Radio real quick.
At Four Corners Radio is giving you the latest and the greatest in revolutionary podcasts in the form of course, free therapy. The wonderful podcast you're listening to right now with my partner in crime all the time. Franchise, you got Five Holers, you got Bread and Butter, you got Last Nice Guys.
Oh, you got
Degenerates on Us, and that is what you need to be part of this team. You can DM us right now at Four Corners Radio, and I keep telling you, you got to be scratching that itch a little bit. You got to be going a little stir crazy. Stop if you're on unemployment, stop collecting that $800, earn that $800, and go ahead and start a podcast with at Four Corners Radio. You won't regret it. We'd love to have you part of the team, baby.
Of course, man. Of course, we want to talk about news and notes around the league. Just one quick update. I don't know if you saw, the NHL said they're coming back. They're going to do a round-robin tournament for the top 4 seeds, and then they'll have a 12-team kind of playoff. So the reason why I bring this up is to show everybody that I was right, and I said it. It's too early to push the panic button on the NFL season when NHL is playing, Bundesliga, the soccer is playing, fucking NASCAR is going on, wrestling. Like, I knew it would get to a point where the NFL, even though Roger Goodell is a money-grubbing whore, and he would have let at least 100 people die before he shut down the league, that it wouldn't get to that point because it's just too soon. I've seen this story a million times, like the lockout, all this shit. The lockout went in all the way to August, and I'll say it again, and only one thing happened. 2 preseason games were cut. I don't care about preseasons. I don't need to see the backups play the backups. It's like watching the Redskins play the Dolphins. Like, that was the best bet I've ever made. You guys,
I think you can do 2 preseason games and you're fine. Yeah. I get the tune-up, I get the warm-up, but after 3 and 4 is always a little bit showy. You don't really need it.
It's really dumb. And then, like, if you play the Hall of Fame game, you get 5. So it's like, does this really matter? You know who the starters are. You know who the backups are. Maybe 2 or 3 spots are up for grabs. But, like, other than that, like, this is just good news. And I just wanted to bring it up to everybody who's just sports fans that sports coming back by July. We're all going to be balls deep in, like, an NBA, NHL, NFL, preseason, NASCAR. Like, it's just going to be bonkers for us bettors and just sports fans in general.
Yeah, thank God, and for Degenerates Are Us. We'll be good because we'll actually have content to do. But yeah, man, it's definitely a big sigh of relief, and I know a lot of people that probably heard me on this podcast last couple of weeks be like, "Eat it, you snowflake liberal." Listen, I wasn't saying that we were going to be down forever. I wasn't saying the economy shut down. Hell, and just for anybody that cares at all, I am strictly bipartisan and not leaning any way whatsoever. I just wanted to be extremely cautious in this situation. Listen, I am thrilled. I am extremely excited, and I hope that I continue to get proven wrong in what some of my theories were, because I think that is fantastic, and that is taken in the right caution, in the right way. It's a big breath of fresh air that we all really need right now. So I'm just going to, I'm waiting for a couple weeks till the picture becomes a little more clear, but this is definitely a good step.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is obviously on the heels of what the second wave will bring, but, like, we got to try something. Like, we can't wait for a vaccine. Like, I mean, I understand the vaccine is coming, and good news came out of, like, Oxford, who apparently their laboratories are, like, doing testing. They were doing testing on SARS already, which is the cousin of COVID. So they turned their studies of SARS already to combat COVID, and they said they might have a vaccine by September, which is prime fall season. So that's thoughts and prayers. I hope everybody's still safe, and I hope we get a vaccine soon. Especially thoughts and prayers to one of the most elite quarterbacks of all time, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
No thoughts and prayers needed for him, brother. He's got him in a fool.
You know what I'm about to say right now. He is my favorite Raven of all time because, my God, he robbed them clean. Joe Flacco is not done yet, baby. He robbed the Ravens. He robbed the Broncos. Now he's about to take Mono Sammy on to be the starter of the New York Jets. That's right. Joe Flacco's done with the New York Jets.
There's no taking on. He will be the starter, sir.
Huh?
He will be the starter week 1.
Dirty Sammy's definitely going to get mono again. He'll probably be the first person, like, since, like, the 1800s to get mono twice.
I don't care if Dirty Sammy's a pitch perfect full of health. I don't care. Elite Joe Flacco is getting that start. And, I had different, we're going to do this segment a little bit later, but I had a different winner for the AFC least or East. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and I'm reversing that. I'm backing it up. And
Wow.
and the Jets will win the AFC least if Joe Flacco starts week 1. They're going 16-0, baby.
Joe Flacco is not starting. Let's be honest. He lost. Lamar Jackson is one thing where you lost Lamar, of course you're going to lose your job too because he was drafted in the first round. Nobody gets drafted in the first round. They're not going to start ever. But to Drew Lock, and I think Drew Lock is going to be a fantasy darling this year just because he has so many weapons. It's god awful if he does anything below average. But Joe Flacco was just so bad. He's so bad. Like, after 2012, after he robbed them for everything they were worth, the Ravens, like, that has to be the biggest money heist of all time. Like, and we're still going to see probably one of the best ones with Dak here soon, and we'll talk about that. But Joe Flacco robbed the Ravens blind. And I think it's just so funny. Not because it's the Ravens. I just think it's so funny. Everybody thought he was the reason they won that Super Bowl, which he didn't. It was because of that defense, Jacoby Jones, and Ray Rice. Problematic.
First of all, I'm gonna try to settle down. We've done our stupid Lamar and Patrick debate back and forth, and we can do that all day long.
Give Lamar credit.
But what I won't do and what I won't stand for is disrespect to Joe Elite Flacco. Okay, number 1, did not money heist anybody, and the greatest money heist of all time is on Netflix. Go watch it right now, seasons 1 through 4. That is the greatest money heist of all time. But more importantly, Joe Flacco earned every single dollar, worked his ass off, and now he and the Jets see a chance to destiny to get one more ring for Joe. Do it all, Flacco, baby.
I'm done with Joe Flacco.
I'm not taking a serious take here, man.
Thank God Joe Flacco is gone, and now I think the Jets are just snake bitten because now Jamal Adams is now in the news asking for a contract, wants to be paid as the best safety in the league. Like, there's so many reports for the Jets. It's fucking amazing that when you think of New York, that it's the Jets and not the Giants, because the Jets are just a bundle of sticks because of Adam Gase, butthole pirate, who just doesn't know how to handle their team. Because Jamal Adams is your best player. He wants an extension. He's probably the best safety in the league.
Careful there.
He wants an extension. And then people are telling me Cowboys are going to try to trade for him for a first round and a third round pick, which is not going to happen. They still have Dak Prescott, who's asking for like $42 million. So you're telling me you're going to pay him $42 million, Amari Cooper like $100 million throughout 4 years, Zeke $90 million. Now you're going to pay this guy how much a safety makes. That's like 45% of your salary. You're stupid. You're dumb. Jamal Adams then came out and said, I'll get traded before I get an extension. The Jets were like, we're not going to trade him. So I'm just done with Jamal Adams and the Jets thing until it's finished, because it's just so fucking annoying, because he is a great player, but he's starting to get on my nerves. Because did you see his one tweet where he was like, oh, they made a mistake in the draft, blah, blah, blah. And then Marcus Lattimore, the corner for the...
I think we talked about this a couple of weeks back, too.
Yeah, for the Saints, was like, dude, you were literally picked 5th. It was like, you got picked behind 3 quarterbacks, or it was Saquon, Baker, and I forgot the other 2, but it was like, it was the Myles Garrett draft. It was Myles Garrett and all these players, and Mitch Trubisky was the only one that was the problem. After that, it was just like, Jamal, stop being a bitch. You're a safety. You're not a fucking quarterback. Like, you know what I mean? So hopefully Jamal gets his extension so he could shut up. But I hope he just doesn't turn into a freak, like a dumbass. And Dak is going to rob the Cowboys for everything they're worth. Second money heist.
So he was picked, so just to clarify, he was picked 7th. And before him picked was, you got Miles, Mitchell, Trubisky, Solomon Thomas, which, where the fuck did he go? Leonard Fournette, and, he's still doing his thing. Leonard Fournette, and then the Titans, and I'm losing the pick here. And then the Jets
Corey Davis.
Jamal Adams.
Then they picked.
So I mean, I think. Listen, I don't know who's blowing smoke up his ass. I think that he's having some of the wrong people in his ear. I think it's a combination of, quarantine boredom as well. I think there's a lot of things going on. But listen, I mean, I'm tired of talking about it too. I'm annoyed with it too. Adam Gase is a fucking mess. I don't understand how he's still in the NFL himself.
I'm just
good luck over there. Yeah. I go back to the bit. If you remember, I talked about when we were still allowed to go in the studio. of, or I may have talked about this on Degenerates or Less. I think it was Face with Friends, one of the two shows where the Larry David bit on Curb Your Enthusiasm, where the guy was literally just so tired of the Jets losing again and again. I think he got some word that the bit was on the show like Le'Veon Bell got traded or something like that. It was the bit on the show, and then he went ahead and decided to off himself because how bad the Jets are. That's how I feel when talking about the Jets. It gives me depression kitty syndrome. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. Get out of here.
We'll talk about the Jets later because them and the
yeah, fuck, we are, aren't we?
No, it's all good. It's all good. And then just not going to talk about Dak too much because Dak is literally an idiot, and he's also a person, and people are in his ear saying, "Oh, you worth the same amount of money as Russell Wilson, a quarterback who's already probably getting his gold jacket fitted, Mahomes, another quarterback who's probably getting his jacket fitted, Watson, probably getting a jacket fitted too." Lamar Jackson when he comes. Like, the dude's trying to position himself to think he's up there in that echelon when I think he's probably like Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, like an average quarterback. Like you're good, but if you didn't have Zeke and all in the offensive line, you suck ass. So fuck you, Dak. So
yeah, it's one of those holdout games. I think I'm better and kind of quarantine boredom. I think I'm amongst that elite QB. What have you done to show us you're amongst that elite QBs? What have you done that stood out to say that, okay, you are in this next generation coming up now. You are this like Deshaun. You are playing like Lamar. You are playing like Patrick. You're not. You are playing like even Russell. You're not. You're not, and I don't think you have the ability to get that level. Again, you were blessed by really good drafting, as much as it hurts me to say the Dallas Cowboys. It's obvious. And some of the best linemen put together ever, if you ask me. You have one of the most talented running backs ever, if you ask me.
Arguably the second best.
I mean, listen, buddy, you should sack up and smile, and the fact you're still not getting it done with all that, shut the fuck up, take your money, and I don't want to hear any more from you.
So the NFL put out like kind of like a stat where it's like all these teams have won over 20 plus playoff games in their history. Cowboys was like 35. Guess how many did Dak and Romo combined give them of those 35?
One.
2 each. Or one each. One each.
Okay.
So 2 altogether. So since
I was trying to think. I remember the Dak win. I couldn't place the Tony win.
Tony win was against the Lions, and that's when the whole Des Cottet thing with the Packers. You remember that?
Yeah.
And then like Dak beat the fucking Seahawks with no kicker, and then got butt fucked by the fucking Rams. It's like, dude,
he fucking did.
It's garbage. So I'm done with that garbage team. Listen, if Dak wants to get paid and get robs the Dallas Cowboys, be my guest, because they already paid a body catcher $100 million. And Zeke, by all means, deserves his money, but the money they gave him, that's why smart teams don't pay running backs like that. But we'll see if it pays out for them. But another running back that did get his money, Carlos Hyde, went to the Seahawks. Honestly, this is a mediocre signing, in my opinion. I think it was just more a depth piece because they were in shambles once Carson and Penny were out for the season, which I think is going to happen again. I think Carson and Penny are just injury prone like that. So you have to build in those games that they're not going to be there with Carlos Hyde, who's been reliable, who did okay with the Texans, who did okay with the 49ers, the Browns. Like, it was just a reliable piece to put behind them, even though I think Carson and Penny are obviously 1 and 2 on the depth chart. I just that the whole situation just falls on. We just need a third running back because we can't do this bullshit where we just pick up somebody from halfway through the season like Marshawn Lynch again.
I mean, I think the Seahawks here are kind of this signing kind of is they're pigeonholing themselves a little bit. They're Redskinning themselves. Now, let me explain what I mean, Nudie, by Redskinning themselves. So, meaning what is the whole Redskins trajectory over the last 2 decades? It's Gibbs era was fantastic. Hogs bunch. We're unstoppable. Wait, you can't. The great era that of the glorious 3 Super Bowls, right?
Right.
We've been trying to relive that Gibbs era ever since. So we've gone through coach after coach of coach, trying to replace, even bringing back the coach himself, right? the Seahawks are doing the same thing with Marshawn Lynch. Same thing with that, trying to return that same glory of the hold my dick era and all that fantastic wonderfulness that was Marshawn Lynch. And I need season 2 of his Facebook show to come back. I don't think it is. It's been like 2016 when it came out.
Probably only has two people watching, his mom and you. That's literally the only 2 viewers.
And Jeffrey, and our mutual friend Jeffrey also watching it and loving every moment. No, go watch it. I'm telling you, it's still available. You can stream all the episodes. It's great content. Anywho, moving, and I'm still trying to fill in the hole and replace the hole that Marshawn Lynch unscripted left in me. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, you try to replace Marshawn by even bringing back Marshawn. I mean, it's not working. I think Carlos Hyde's another, again, store brand fix that's not, it's like you're trying to get, you buy a off-brand Coke product when you want Dr. Pepper.
Exactly. And Carlos Hyde was signed just literally because he's a bruiser. He's a reliable source. I mean, like, we've talked about the different running backs out there. I mean, one of them being Devontae Freeman. And I believe in CTE so much now that his comments prove that CTE is alive and well when he said, I'm either going to get paid the way I want to get paid or I'm going to retire and sit out the season.
Yeah, I don't care. Do it. Next.
All right. Well, yeah, I honestly have no comment. Like, that just...
Not 2016, motherfucker.
So, obviously, one of the greatest sporting events during the quarantine was the 2 quote-unquote GOATs of our generation at quarterback playing with the 2 quote-unquote GOATs of golf in the match. So it was Peyton and Tiger against Phil and Tom Brady. It was a good match because they were kind of bickering. They were kind of doing punchlines back and forth and stuff like that. Like, what's it called? Peyton was like, I should have gotten like Nick Foles or Eli to be my caddy to rattle Tom's cage. And Tom was like, oh, Tennessee hasn't been good since you left and da 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 da. And then Peyton shout out.
What do you think the chances are that some of those were written? Like, they hit up like a Neil Brennan or like who wrote the Dave Chappelle show or somebody like that. It was like, hey, help me out with these punchlines. I can get up on Manning.
Peyton Manning is such a dad. It's fucking unbelievable because he starts off like, well, like, you know how dads are. They're going, well, like, and then they make a joke and then they're doing that whole head nod.
Yeah, sure.
And to think anybody who thought Tom Brady was gonna be good at golf, you guys are morons. The dude isn't gonna.
Hey, don't forget hole 7, baby.
The dude is so laser focused on football. I don't think he's laser focused on anything else but kissing his son. And then that's literally just
and flipping some tongue.
Yeah, and like he makes that one great shot and tells Chuck to shut up, but like doesn't make anything good after that. He shanks it right. He shanks it left. Phil Mickelson is trying to give him some pointers and he's not taking it. He has that Tom Brady face of like, I'm angry because I'm not doing good at something that I should be good at. Me. And then Peyton Manning's been retired for how long now? So it's like Peyton does this for shits and giggles probably. This is probably the only thing he does.
He's
Tiger's
been practicing the last 4 years.
Yeah. So Peyton's been doing this and like giving him Tiger Woods, like they're going to win. Like there's no way they weren't going to win in my mind. And they were minus like 190. I took minus 190 for $400. Money in the bank, bro. I didn't take the plus shit.
They're minus 200. And Brady and Mickelson were plus 180 when it was all said and done.
Yeah. So I was like, bro, I don't care. I don't think Tom Brady's gonna be good, and I was right. And I think like it's just so funny. It was just a good kind of match, and then like the top peak of everything was Justin Thomas making fun of fucking Charles Barkley. He's like, I want to see your fat ass dunk a ball right now. Literally on stream. And Charles is like, hey,
I miss that.
And I'm like, dude, that was probably the best line in the whole thing. And it wasn't from Tom Brady or Peyton. So,
I mean, you got to see Tom Brady's underwear and his pants rip a little bit. That was nice.
What a fuck. And he's like, oh, my pants are practicing social distancing. And then it's like, all right, dude, you're not fucking Tommy dad jokes over here. Like, god damn it.
Really, Tommy can do it all, baby.
Yeah, man. But no, I mean, all in all, it was a good match. It was good fun. I watched some of it, and then I just got bored and like kind of like turned it off. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, I watched a little. It was cool. I definitely bet on it. Obviously, I bet wrong incorrectly. I had to go with the higher odds of plus 190. If you're a degenerate like myself, you got to go that way. Unless you're a nudie and you went for the lock, smart man. Luckily,
the breadcrumbs.
Luckily, I did. I didn't lose that much, so I'm surviving. I'm thriving. I'm a-okay to live another day. But yeah, it was cool. I guess we're all kind of starved for content, and that was kind of his sports.
Yeah, it was the highest. I think it was. They said it was the highest non-major golf, like golf viewing of all time. Like it was like it like doubled or some shit. I don't know what it was.
Everything's the highest. You're getting the highest NASCAR ratings of all time. You're getting the highest tennis ratings of all time.
Dude,
I fucking watched Bundesliga yesterday, which is German soccer.
Oh,
and lost $100 there. So
right now, I'm watching it right now.
Bundesliga!
I actually bet on it the first weekend, and then after that, I just stopped because I just didn't know what I was doing. I did make out positive, but I was just like, I'm not. This is too much. I don't know who's good, who's bad. Like, fuck that.
Well, I hit up a very well-endowed German friend of mine, and he helped me out.
That's good. But yeah, so the match was good, but it just shows that football and hockey and all that stuff needs to come back. Speaking of, let's do our two-team roundabout. And
NFL 2020 season preview.
There you go.
Starting with
the New York
AFC East Part 2, the New York Jets.
So if you want to hear what we said about the Patriots and the Dolphins, you can go listen to our last episode. But we'll kind of recap what we said about them later when we do our all four teams. But we'll start with the New York Jets, who I think is going to be second in the division. Sam Darnold, Dirty Sammy. You fuckhead. You were supposed to break out last year, but you got mono because you're a dirty son of a bitch. You should have had a great career or a good season. That was your breakout. And then obviously they signed Le'Veon Bell last year. We'll see how he does this year. They lost Robbie Anderson in free agency. They did get one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft, Denzel Mims. So we'll see how he does. Jamison Crowder. Chris Herndon, your boy, your guy that you always say, pick him up. We'll see if he could stay healthy and doesn't get suspended. That was the two things that was holding him. But they do have Ryan Griffin at tight end.
This year, baby. Fucking Ryan Griffin. You're going to see him go down the depth chart real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the biggest lineman in the draft from Louisville, Kevin Beachum, he got drafted. We'll see how he does. He's going to protect that side. He's going to help everybody. They get also some safety help. So the Jets altogether, I mean, like, it's really Adam Gase. Honestly, if I can be real, I think Adam Gase is going to hold this team back. It's when he gets fired, another coach will come in.
It's a very anti-Adam Gase podcast.
10-6. I hate him. Like
I do too.
He's riding on the coattails of what he did with the Broncos, and they don't realize that literally that was Peyton's best year ever. Like literally ever. Colts, Broncos, doesn't matter. That was his best year ever. Had Demaryius Thomas, had Julius Thomas break the tight end record before Gronk came. And then you had Eric Decker, who was probably one of the best, and Wes Welker. Like, come on, dude. Like, that's a great receiving core. And it's just like Adam Gase did nothing. I could have been like the OC for the Broncos, and we would have won the same amount of games.
Well, everyone forgets he was Dolphins before that too, right? And how'd that go?
And then nothing. And then it was 8-7-9, and then they went to 5-11. I just hope they don't waste Sam Darnold's potential, because I think Sam Darnold is a good quarterback. We'll see how the wide receiver core goes, because I don't think the wide receiver core is that good. And let me preface this. I say that they're the second best in the East, but it's like 7-9, 6-10. That's what I predict. Like, they'll have enough more divisional wins than the Patriots, who I had at 6-10. That's why I have them above them, just because they're going to have more divisional wins, and they'll sneak in and maybe beat a team like the Chiefs or some bullshit, or the Chargers, and we're like, oh, the Jets look. But Jamal Adams is still on a contract dispute, so he's the best player on the team. Better get him signed. Jermaine Johnson's good. I mean, they have a good defense. Like, it wasn't bad last year. They traded away Leonard Williams. So I just want to see how all of it is put together, because there's a lot of hype to them, but their schedule is tough. Like, literally the toughest I've ever seen. They're going to go 2-6 right off the gate. And me saying they're going 6-10, that's good, because they have to play the 49ers, Chiefs, I think, Patriots. Like, if you guys want to go check their schedule, please do.
It's brutal. It's brutal.
Terrible.
Fort Titans as well. It's brutal, man.
It's terrible. And I feel bad because I want to see Sam Darnold succeed, but like putting that schedule on him, and obviously it's random, I hope.
49, yeah.
He's gonna get fucked, and Le'Veon's gonna get fucked, and we're gonna just, I don't know, they're both gonna wither away, and I hope that they just find their groove mid-season. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think you brought up a couple good things. One thing you did not bring up is, once again, like, Joe Flacco is starting for this team. They're going 16-0, and they're going to win the division.
Stop. All right. So that's the Joe.
I'll give you a real take. So, no, I'll drop the bit for 2 minutes here to give you what I really think. So, yes, obviously, Sam Darnold's starting, and I think he'll probably end up starting the majority of the season if he can kind of finally find his own groove. But it is a rough groove to find, as you mentioned, Nudie. I mean, the wide receiver core is strapped. They're basically taking the Redskins receivers of yesteryear that never really had a year, and Josh Doxson, and Crowder's still doing his thing, but how much longer can he do it for? I like Denzel Mims a lot, too. We'll see what happens there. Mekhi Becton was easily my favorite lineman in the draft, I thought, besides maybe Andrew Thomas. So I think they tried to build a lot here. It's still such a young team. I don't think Le'Veon's going to be is not what Le'Veon was when we all fell in love with him, Steelers fan or not. With that be, and again, this schedule, as you mentioned, Newbie, is fucking brutal, man. And I'm surprised you have them in second as you do. I don't, and I know you mentioned that a little bit. I have them going 6-10, and they're going to be in third place right after the Dolphins. So
I just think it's like pressure. The only reason why I have them second is like pressure creates diamonds kind of thing. It's like, oh, you're going to go through this terrible stretch, but after that, you're going to have those easy games, and you're going to already take those tough games out, and you're going to have a stretch where you might win some games back to back. So it's I
think you're crazy thinking the Patriots aren't going to sneak in there in the wild card spot.
Nah. Well, the only team I have going to the playoffs from this division is the Buffalo Bills. 10-6 last year, they were the wild card team, the 5th seed. They had the Texans on the ropes, but Deshaun Watson is Deshaun Watson, so it's like. You can't.
Lost some money that day too.
Yeah. So Josh Allen comes back. We'll see his development. He did pretty well. Devin Singletary finally now has the reins. No Frank Gore, no Ageless Wonder in the backfield. So we'll see how he does. They also
off to the Jets, which we didn't even talk about.
Exactly. And you trade for Stephon Diggs. That means you're all in right now. Stephon Diggs, John Brown. Who's still there, who's speedsters. They're both speedsters. And what is Josh Allen known for? His arm strength. So this guy is going to throw 60-yard bombs every fucking time he has a chance. You don't forget the Knox man at tight end who did pretty good. I mean, they call him Rambo for a reason. So we'll see how it does. I mean, and I don't have to talk too much about the defense. The defense was top 5 last year. They have Tremaine Edmonds, one of the best middle linebackers in the game. He's young. They also have a great defensive line set. Also, cornerbacks. We didn't talk about the cornerbacks. They got your boy, Josh Norman. So we'll see how Josh Norman goes Bill Country, as well as Tremaine White, who's probably my third best cornerback behind Jalen Ramsey and Stephon Gilmore.
I can get behind that.
He's pretty good.
I can definitely. I think he's the most underrated quarterback in the league.
I think he just gets on like under the radar because of like how good that defense is. When Jalen's on a bad defense, same with Stephon. Well, Stephon gets targeted a lot because he just plays back quarterbacks, and I hate to say it like that, but it's just like Stephon is just out of this world. But White is right there, and like you have Michael Hyde, you have Pryor, you have all these players who can make this team better, and I think. Sean McDermott is one of the most underrated coaches in the NFL. Do I think is this team going to make noise in the playoffs? I say win one game and probably lose to the second round to probably like the Chiefs or the Ravens or like Titans maybe. Yeah. So it's like, I don't see too much from the Bills, but I still see them 11-5, 10-6, winning their division. Big bad Tom Brady is gone. Buffalo Bill fans are going to break as many tables as they can. But Josh Allen, he's going to end up right there in the conversation of who is better, him or Lamar from that draft class. sooner than later, in my opinion. This is not me dissing Lamar. It's just me saying how good Josh Allen is. I mean, Josh Allen is good. You can't.
Yeah, no, I'm slightly in agreement with you. I don't want to get into it right now.
No, I mean, I'm not. It's just me saying it. So, the Bills, my champion of the AFC East, great team. I can't wait to see what they do. But they will lose to the Steelers. So.
I have that down as a win. Sorry, buddy. But I have that down, and it's not even me being biased. I just have that down as a win. But here, I'm in agreement with you in the 11-5, 10-6. I think more 11-5 team. They're definitely winning this division. You're right. They made the moves to kind of solidify their army and ready to go to war, ready to go to battle. And we fucking are. We're going to be breaking tables, burning down buildings, smashing houses, doing what the fuck we need to do to get the Bills Mafia. I think they make a divisional round. I don't think they get past that either. But I think Josh Allen has a real breakout year. Not that he didn't really last year, but I think this is the year where he kind of submits his legacy. So that's where I'm in agreement with you, Nudie, and we kind of get an idea of who Josh Allen's really going to be in the league this year.
Right.
As well as, again, yeah, I love a lot of the young talent out here. Don't forget, don't sleep on Dawson next year. Another great tight end sleeper. You got a lot of great defensive players, as you already mentioned, man. One that didn't go, you got a former Redskin in there as well. As they like picking up those old Redskin linebackers. And Trent Murphy was probably one of the best we've had come through in a couple years. The Ed Oliver obviously goes without mentioning, fucking phenomenal.
Right.
And Trayman Edmonds too, man, is a fucking goddamn wrecking ball. So
Oliver might not play this season, so let's just preface that because of his.
This is true. This is true. This is true. I got yes, as we talked about last week, but. And then, as you mentioned already, my most underrated quarterback in the league, Tre'Davious White. I think this team is ready for war. I don't think they're ready to win the whole entire war itself, but they're definitely battle ready. But you're not winning the big battle, buddy.
Listen, I mean, they should be happy with the divisional, like another division, like winning the division for the first time. That wasn't the Patriots since like the Wildcat Dolphins. So
we ain't doing that. Yeah, let's snaps for that.
So,
since the Wildcat Ricky Williams Dolphins, baby.
Yeah, so
bring back the Wildcat. I think every team should run the Wildcat. But anyway, that's a different show.
But so my AFC standings are going to go Buffalo Bills at 11-5, 10-6, winning the division. The other three teams, no wild card teams, but it'll go Jets 6-10.
Even with 3 now available.
Yes, I told you my 3 already. When we get to those divisions, we'll talk about it. So I don't think. Listen, Patriots 6-10 because I don't know what's gonna happen. Or Jets 6-10, Patriots 6-10, 5-11. Jets are above them because of more divisional wins, and then the Dolphins because
very defensive, doubtful, and insecure right now. I don't know.
Dolphins
toxic combination, my friend.
4-12, 5-11. Dolphins because Tua came in too late, and that's it. Sorry, that's how I feel. Jets. Second.
Listen, and we all know, like, I'm not a big Patriots hater, but I'm not a Patriots lover either, but I just respect what it is, and I think you have the best coach to ever walk the face of the planet Earth in Bill Belichick. Despite whatever you think about what he does and the means he goes about winning, whatever, he wins. Don't care. He wins. Plain and simple. So here's as follows before I go on a whole Patriots rant. One, Bills, we're on the same page there. I think 11-5 Bills comes out victorious. I got a 9-7 Patriots sneaking in at that third wild card spot. If it was the year before, they probably wouldn't have made it. Then I have the Jets coming in, as I already mentioned, at a 6-10, and the Dolphins at a 3-13.
Hey, listen, I don't doubt Bill Belichick. I'm going off of the eye test right now. You lost more than just Tom Brady. You lost a lot on that defense. Stephon Gilmore is great. I just don't know how Stidham's going to do. Listen, I will eat crow if they are back to where they are with Stidham. I'm a big believer of
They'll never be back to where they are, Nudie.
Huh?
They'll never be back to where they are unless you're a big believer in Trevor Lawrence. But
I meant like going to the playoffs. Like if they go to the playoffs with fucking Stidham, like, dude, you can't deny greatness. And I don't deny Bill Belichick if they don't do it. I just think from the eye test, this is what I see. And I just don't want to give him the credit yet because it's a lot. I mean, Tom Brady's gone. Like, we don't know what's going to happen. This is
who's proven that eye test wrong again and again.
Oh, next, we're going to do the AFC South. We're going to do the Colts. We're going to start off with the Jags and the Texans. And then we'll do the second show on the Titans and the Colts. You're going to say Lamar. I don't want to hear Lamar. Mahomes did the same thing. Shut the fuck up. So we'll get to them later. We'll talk about them in depth.
I'll be a good boy.
We have a bet. I wrote it down. So we'll see what happens. But that's our show. Thank you for watching. Very quarantined.
You were so worried you walked on a landmine there.
We're powered by Four Corners Radio. Joe, take us away.
And go DM us right now, if I were you, to go join, as always, the all-star lineup that we got. That is, one more time for you, Bread and Butter, Last Nice Guys, Face of the Franchise, Degenerates Are Us, Five Holers, Free Therapy, my own damn show. Am I missing any nudity? I don't think so.
Did you say hooping and hollering?
Hooping and fucking hollering. If I did, I'll say it twice. It's just as nice. Go join that whole entourage right now. Not as douchey as the show, The Entourage. DM us at the Four Corners Radio right now.
I'm not even going to. Fuck you. Entourage is a great show. But
I knew you were going to be hurt by that one. I liked it too. It's pretty fucking douchey, though.
God damn it.
The end, greatest ending of all time to any film is when Johnny Drama finally gets his Golden Globe, baby. I watched the movie too, so I'm going to a little bit.
Mark Wahlberg going like, are you fucking kidding me? I can't believe he won. It's crazy, but
fantastic ending. And one of my favorite bits of all time is Johnny Drama and the calf implants in like season 1. Yeah. He goes up to now known as Mecha World Peace and asks him about his calves. That was so great.
Unbelievable. I love that show. So we'll see if they do a spinoff, but they said they will. So I don't know. But thank you.
It is a pretty douchey show.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Enjoy soccer. Enjoy NASCAR, and football season will be back soon. As always, stay breezy, stay easy. One love.
Ha ha!